Well, we've made it to Wednesday, and that means we have our plant and garden expert, Craig Hignight, joining us in studio, taking your questions through the News 8 Facebook page, through the Facebook Live, people putting their questions in the comment section. So let's start with Marley. When should I preen? Preen down my flower garden. I imagine maybe prune.
Preen. It's a pre-emergent herbicide that we put down that keeps seed from coming up. And usually, probably about mid-April to the third week in April, get the bed all cleared up and get all the live weeds out of there, and then put your preen down. That should hold the new seedlings at bay for the season.
Okay. And there's the camera. All right, so Lisa asking, is sunrose a perennial and can I plant it outside?
Sunrose. Have to admit, I'm not totally familiar with that variety. I hope the tag that came with it has some temperatures on it, and it should be rated at hardy to -20 degrees to survive our winter in this area.
Okay. Sebastiana says that they put straw on the strawberry plants for over the winter. When is the best time to remove that?
I would say we could go ahead and pull the straw off to the side now. I'm sure the strawberries are probably trying to grow. It's been a little warmer, but don't get rid of it. It stays next to the bed because, God forbid, it drops back down to 20 degrees. You've got to kick that straw back over the bed because at 20 degrees, you start losing the flowers on your strawberries.
Oh, yikes. Sarah says, if I have seedlings started, what is the next step to keep them growing?
Okay. The important thing is give them enough water without overwatering them. That's the biggest thing. Seedlings, they do what we call a damping off. That's a fungus that grows right at the surface of the soil, and it's just like somebody went through with scissors and cut them off right at the soil line. Another thing, I've had many people that have started their seed, take a cloth and just lightly brush it back and forth over the top of the seedlings a couple of times a day. It makes them get stronger. It keeps them from stretching so much so they don't get too tall. When you get to your second true leaf on the plant, they can be transplanted to another container if necessary. Remember, these plants are not going to go outside until probably close to Mother's Day.
All right, Shelby asking, how can I kill ornamental grass without hurting the perennials around it?
Oh, ornamental grass is susceptible to over-the-top herbicide just like any other grass. It kills only grasses, does not touch your annuals or perennials. Over the top to get rid of grass.
Rick has a question. Whenever I planted zucchini in my garden, the bugs eat it up before the harvest to the point that the entire plant looks dead. What should he be doing?
Okay, it's just, your vine crops are not unlike fruit trees. They should go onto a regular spray program, and you can use something as mild as a insecticidal soap or another general insecticide. The important thing is to get the spray under the leaves. You kind of roll the leaves up when you're spraying to make sure you're getting a thorough coverage with any insecticide that you're putting on.
Is it too late to trim an oak tree?
Yes. At this point, we have no frost left in the ground, so I would not be going near an oak tree, except the one right next to me fell over yesterday.
So many trees.
Yes.
Jim asking, can honeysuckle vines be transplanted? If so, when is the best time?
Okay, I would wait until the plant is just barely starting to show signs of life. Make sure you have the new area ready, and as usual, you're going to cut it way back. With something like honeysuckle, it grows so fast, you're going to take it down to 6 or 8 inches above the ground. You're going to move it with a nice clump of soil. And what are we going to use when we put it back in the ground?
Root stimulator.
Root stimulator.
Chris asking, is it time for crabgrass preventer?
No, it's a little early. Crabgrass preventer, according to Mother Nature, it goes down when the forsythia comes into bloom. That's the bright yellow shrub that blooms the very first thing in the spring. Usually sometime between the second and third week in April is when that comes into bloom.
Okay. Robert saying he has to move his rhubarb. It's up about 2 to 3 inches. Is it okay to move now?
Just, again, move it with as many roots as possible and use that root stimulator when you get it back in the ground. And of course, mulch it very well so that it doesn't dry out too fast, and it does not like competition from weeds.
Okay, Jim saying, I brought in my potted ferns late last fall. They're not doing great. How can I bring them back to life?
Okay, the important thing is getting them back outside. When you can finally put them back outside, by now I expect a fern to look a little ratty in the house. When they go back outside, you start them on that 10 to 14 day fertilizer program, and they'll pop back faster than you can ever imagine. They're not going to look great when you put them out like they just came from the store, but they'll come back.
That's good news there. Well, Craig, thank you so much for your expertise again this Wednesday. And be sure you join our Facebook Live each and every Wednesday where Craig answers your questions. You can be a part of that conversation. We'll be right back.